Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of my series of Interpreting the Art of War by Sun Tzu. So the second part of the Art of War is addressing waging war. And Sun Tzu says, do not get involved in a lengthy military campaign. Your weapons get blunted, your soldiers' energy is exhausted, your resources are depleted, and even if you and your generals are wise, if your resources are depleted and your army's weak, that's not enough to be a smart general. It's not going to work. And no country has ever benefited from a long-term, prolonged warfare. So a good example in modern times is the Iraq War. We went in there, 2003? This was a prolonged war. We lost a lot of blood, a lot of treasure, a lot of resources. Bill Clinton actually got us out of the debt, and this put us right back into a huge national debt. So a good example that a prolonged war is not a good idea. And to take it a step further, the first time we went into Iraq was in 1990, 1991. George Bush the Elder was like, we're getting in and out of there. They didn't even go into the Capitol. The war was over, let's get out. Because he knew if they rolled into the Capitol, mission creep starts and they'd be bogged down in all this stuff. So that's a good example in modern times of what prolonged warfare looks like. Now, how does this relate to business? Well, there's several different ways you can look at it. The warfare in business could be a big campaign. You're going to roll out a new product. You're going to roll out a new service. You're going to do this new thing. Well, let me tell you a story about how that went down for a certain company. I forget the name of the company, but this mid-sized jewelry company at the start of 2020 had a 2-year plan to revamp their website, get every single product online, have a stellar e-commerce platform, and go full steam ahead with that. Well, then COVID, the scamdemic hit. And they were able to focus and get this done in 6 weeks. So a lot of times in corporate world, these plans, they grow and get bloated, and okay, it's gonna take 2 years. If it took them 2 years, imagine the time and money and resources wasted before they can even start making money. They got it done in 6 weeks, saving time, saving money, keeping their employees fresh. They got it done, felt good, and then they could start making money. Perfect example. So if you're planning in business, yes, it's fun to come up with some grand plan. No. Keep your plan lean, keep it reasonable, have a short timeline, a defined endpoint, and you get it done. Keeps morale up, you get results, and you keep it moving. Maybe break it into phases if it's a bigger deal. But this story about the jewelry company, 2 years to 6 weeks, that says a lot, and it proves it can be done. Another example of warfare in business is if you're gonna go to war against your competition, to beat them. You know, like in the 1980s, the burger wars, McDonald's, Burger King. Look, this is a waste of time and money and resources because all you're gonna do is spend money on ads and try and outspend the other company and all this stuff. You're wasting time, you're wasting resources, it's demoralizing, and you might not get the results. It's tit for tat. If you wanna know the secret to beating your competition, I'll let you know what it is. And it's not going to war. You don't have to do that. Have a compelling product or service, have great customer service, have great team, great culture, have professionally executed branding and positioning by an ad agency, and that will help you beat the competition. Oh, and also always be innovating, because if you're not innovating, you're dying on the vine. So while your competition's busy doing whatever, make sure you and your team are innovating. So that's just 2 examples of what warfare can translate into business. And really, you never really want to have to go to war. That's kind of a last resort, because what he says, Sun Tzu says, is those who do not thoroughly comprehend the dangers of using the army are not capable of knowing the benefits of using the army and military actions. Think about that. If you're just gonna okay, let's go full steam ahead, do all this stuff, and you deplete your army, your resources, you don't know what you're doing, you're just gonna lead to more problems. If you study the situation, if you study your plan, and you get it together and determine, almost like a game of chess, if I do this, what is gonna happen over here? And plan accordingly, you'll have much better results. So I hope you found that helpful. Stay tuned for next time.